All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Megadipped. So they're calling this one an Amarillo, Citra and Simcoe-hopped double IPA. Comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. And this can is approximately 6 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks. Shout out once again to Hop Butcher for this beer. So big thanks to them. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail video I did that contains all the goodies they hooked me up with. And when I saw this, I was like, yeah, sign me up. And that's because this is a mashup of their Megabite and their Beef Dip, both of which I've reviewed on the channel. Megabite is Amarillo and Citra double IPA, while Beef Dipped was just a Simcoe double IPA. And I enjoyed both of them, so I'm thinking this one's going to be pretty good, I guess. We'll see. Anyway, let's crack this one open and get it into the glass and go from there. So, yeah, it's Hop Butcher juice, all right. You know, it's a typical Hop Butcher juice. I mean, you know, it's hazy, it's murky, it's looking good. I think the last one I got from them, or maybe it wasn't the Mirror Ball, but their double pepperoni looked a little bit oxidized. Even the Mirror Ball was like, didn't look like a typical Hop Butcher beer. This one does, though. It doesn't have that like grayish tinge. It's a little bit darker, but it doesn't have that grayish tinge. You probably can't tell because I noticed like when I watch the reviews back as I'm editing, yeah, it doesn't have, but this has, yeah, that murky, deep orange, almost like mango flesh color. Maybe not that, you know, bright, but like it just has that, you know, almost a milky-esque kind of like deep orange color. Has about a finger, almost a finger and a half to almost 2 fingers of this off-white, eggshell white, creamy looking head, murky, turbid, can't see through it. Let's get a nose. Oh. So I said mango, right? Yeah, stone fruit heavy, mango, peach, apricot. Wow. Almost has like a candied essence to it. There's a little bit of citrus too, like a candied orange, candied tangerine. But it's like an overripened sweet mango, sweet peach, sweet apricot in that stone fruit realm. Touch of like a pineapple, maybe passion fruit as well. Has this real big like dank green grassy vibe to it. Smells like it's going to have, honestly, in the nose, it smells like it's going to translate into the taste with like more of a bitterness than you kind of expect from Hop Butcher. Man, smells like it's like an overripened fruit bowl. It's almost candied in a sense, but not like overly sweet. And again, it has that like dank, kind of grassy, green kind of vibe to it that makes it seem like it's going to be a bit more balanced. So anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Hop Butcher. That's delicious. Not my favorite or anything I've had from them. First sip, though, definitely nice. It has a rich, deep, intense kind of stone/tropical fruit vibe. And even on the aftertaste, it has this nice, like, candied kind of sweetness to it. Body's higher side of medium, lower side of full. Much like the Mirror Ball, it has that bigger, thicker body that it doesn't always happen with Hop Butcher. It's more about the mouthfeel, but the body in that Mirror Ball and then this kind of resonates more with my palate. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, it's creamy, a little bit more carbonated than a lot of these. Like, and I just keep on referencing Mirror Ball because that's the last hop forward beer I had from them. And this is not to that level body and mouthfeel, but it's pretty close. The taste, I mean, the nose pretty much carried over about, 75, 80%. There's a huge, like right at the tip of the tongue. I guess in order, it's a little bit different because the first thing I got was stone fruits and I said mango specifically. Tip of the tongue, it's more of like a zesty or like an orange zest, orange pith, like right at the forefront, maybe a little bit tangerine zest. But then it really turns into more like a candied orange, a candy tangerine. Real quick, it like transitions instantly. Then as it continues through the palate, that's where the big overripened, fleshy, sweeter mango hit. A little bit of peach and apricot. A touch of like a pineapple, like a crushed pineapple, sweeter. The second half of the palate's where you do get a little bit of bitterness. It's not as bitter as I was thinking based on the nose. I'm wrong there. But it does have that dang green, grassy kind of bitterness on the back of the palate, like a tomato stalk or like just like a grassy kind of feel to it. Finishes semi to full on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. It's smack dab in the middle of a mild to moderate bitterness, and it's semi-dry, so there is a decent balance here. Still leans like 60-40 in terms of sweetness. It's a little bit sweeter. I'm probably one and done with this can because I feel like if I drank another can, it might be a little bit cloying. One can is not going to be too cloying for me, but a couple probably would be. 8%. I've noticed in their 8% double IPAs, compared to their 7.5% double IPAs, I always feel a little bit more warming in the chest and a little bit more of a feeling on the palate, right? And you would say, hey, that's a 0.5% bigger. Makes sense, right? I don't know. I just feel like so many breweries do 8% double IPAs well that I notice from time to time with Hop Butcher, which, knocks it slightly for me because I think a little bit of that dryness is coming from the alcohol more so than just like the hops or the beer itself. It's just like the alcohol stringency to a very minor degree. It's not like, not ruining the beer or making it harder to drink or anything. It's just, that's where it is. Really good. I need to stop drinking this one and rein it in because I'll be tearing this up in no time. So Hop Butcher's Megadipped. We'll pour the rest in here and then we'll give it an appropriate rating, or at least what I feel is an appropriate rating. But I feel this beer deserves a pretty good rating. Not going to get as high as the Mirror Ball, but Megadipped from Hop Butcher. I have no issues whatsoever giving this beer right here a, we'll go high 4.25 out of 5. I'll go 4.3. I think it's pretty good. I don't remember what I gave Megabite or Beef Dipped, but I think they're both in like the 4.25 realm. So this is probably in the same realm. You combine those two beers. If I gave those like 4.2s, 4.25, 4.3, it makes sense that I gave this similar score. If I had to guess, I think I probably like this better than at least one of them, if not both. But who knows? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at my reviews. I've reviewed so many Hop Butcher beers because they're so generous to send stuff that I do forget. Yeah, I might have to do a Hop Butcher like tier list at some point and rank like a lot of their beers. Maybe like rank their double IPAs. I think it'd be fun. Anyway, tasting notes. Juicy citrus. Yeah, I'd say more candied citrus. I'd say candied citrus. Maybe like if they put like zesty orange or zesty citrus, I'd be more in that realm. Juicy citrus, though. I didn't really say juicy about this beer. I would say more sweet and candied. And then they say candied mango. Okay, so I will agree with them. Candied mango. I'd say over-ripened mango or sweet mango, but candy mango is okay. And then last but not least, I can't read that. Okay, ripe stone fruit. Ripe stone fruit. I said over-ripened, but here's the thing. I mean, you put candied mango and then ripe stone fruit. Okay, sure, I get that. I don't know, it just seems kind of redundant. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass, but yeah, they pretty much nailed it for the most part. A couple things different than me, but anyway, price point availability. I think this one, all their double IPAs are typically, I think, 15 or 16 bucks a 4-pack in the Chicagoland area where they're from. And this one, I think, saw distribution. I want to say a couple of my beer tubing friends outside of Chicago. I think I've seen people in Florida pick this one up, and other people throughout the Midwest. Pretty sure this made distro in the U.S., but I always say with Hop Butcher, where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to grab their stuff, you can. I would say, I get a lot of questions in the comment section of Hop Butcher beers, like how do you get their stuff? The easiest way for me to say, if you want a specific beer, if you just want Hop Butcher beer, type in Hop Butcher for the world, or type in, like if you were looking for this one, type in Hop Butcher Megadipped, and put it into Google, and then click on shopping, and it'll show you a bunch of different stores where you can buy the beer from. Now, do all those places ship to you directly wherever you are in the U.S.? I don't know. You have to do that kind of investigation on your own. Like the legwork isn't all that much. You probably just go to those sites and they'll tell you where they ship. But you can find their stuff if you want to. It's going to be a little bit more pricey with shipping and whatnot, but if you want to try out their stuff, you can make it happen, or just befriend somebody in Chicago that can grab their stuff. And they've opened up their new brewery and tap room and retail store in Chicago, so I imagine distribution is going to be better down the line. Anyway, appreciate Hop Butcher sending this one my way. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Like I said, if you've had this one, post it in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. I think it's pretty damn good. Another Hop Butcher double IPA that's a winner in my book. To the next one. Cheers.